Welcome everyone to the Real Whovians cast. I am your host Matrix Lloyd 212, and I'm with Marty. What's up, Marty?
Hello, Joe. Long time no see.
How you been? How you doing?
Did you did can you hear that? Are you hearing that music or is it me? No,
Hello?
sorry, it's me. I have the tab open.
What music? Oh,
Hello. Yeah, I'm all good. Oh, it's me. It's me. It's my fault. It's me.
yes.
I'm good. How about
So
you? Long
good.
time.
So I know, long time no see, huh? So you saw Doctor Who, right?
Yes.
All right. So
Yes.
first, why don't you tell us what you thought of Space Babies first?
Um, like it wasn't my cup of tea. But I felt it was a fun episode in terms of, it really showed off the chemistry of Shooty and Millie.
Yeah.
I feel they gel well together a lot.
Right.
I did think the episode was very fast paced. Like I don't think it took a breath. I felt it was like the pacing was a little bit off. Um, but the whole concept and babies and whatnot, it was just it was a bit. It felt like it was one for the kids. Not
Right.
really.
It
Not
was.
really.
It was
Yeah.
not really nice. Didn't work out. What did you rate it?
Out of 10, I give it a
I gave it
six.
a failing. I gave it a failing
Just
grade to
because
me.
the
I just
chemistry of I like I would take it over a Chibnall episode any day of the week.
mm, that's not saying much, but
It's I just thought it was sort of like a fun introductory episode, but like
yeah.
when you've seen so many companions come into the TARDIS and ask all those questions, I suppose you're used to it. Um,
Well, Devil's Cord was totally night and day to Space Babies. I
oh,
loved it. So why don't you tell me about Devil's Cord? What you thought about that?
that was just it knocked it out of the park. It was
Yeah.
brilliant. I love the whole. I just love the whole thing. I mean, the only thing that sort of got me a bit was the whole dancing at the end. But I suppose that
Well, I kind of tend to believe that it's the powers of the sun with emotions making them do things. So it's not necessarily good or evil. It's just he's manipulating their emotions to
yeah,
sing. So like that might be his power, maybe,
yeah.
is to
I
manipulate.
I really
And yeah,
I really love the the part when they went to get changed into their 60s outfits.
that was my favorite. That was
Yeah.
one of my favorite things. That really worked
I love
perfectly.
I love it when the show takes a bit of like old pop music
Yeah,
and works it into the show. Like that's what Russell used to do with like,
yeah,
the sound of drums and all those tracks he used to have in his old era. So I hope we see more of that going forward. I'd like to see
yes.
a few
I
songs
want to
thrown in.
see more. See, the thing is, this was more central to the story because of the giggle. So I
Yeah.
felt that this resonated with everyone because it has to do with the connection, direct connection to the specials, and this is the toy maker's son or child or whatever, because she has a kid, Harbinger, and that she's the father, or whatever. So like,
Mm.
toy maker is the father to Maestro.
And
Um,
and that's not the last you're going to see of Harbinger either.
yeah, I know.
Because
So
there's yeah.
yeah, the last episode. So I'm gonna say I really we had I don't know why he made Space Babies, but he did Rusty Davis. But we got the Devil's Cord, so that more than makes up for it. And then this week we got Moffat's episode, which is going to be knocking out of the park already. People are talking good things about it. So that leaves us to talk about all these things connected with the series and our compatriots, our friends, our
Yes.
enemies. Now you and I had a falling out, um, and it was
we we
connected
we
with
had we had
memery.
we had two fallens out, Joe. You remember the first one?
Right. Yes, the Run for It Marty story arc that I dubbed it Run for It Marty, where you got cross with me as a subscriber, feeling like, well, why don't you tell it your own words? But you went to another. Well, it got the attention of another. What do I call him? Is he an enemy? He used to be a friend, then he used to be an enemy. Then I don't know
really
what he
been
is.
enemy.
I think he's.
He hasn't been.
I think
He
he's.
hasn't been. He hasn't been a
I
former
mean, I think.
associate.
Well, I don't think we're friendly, but I mean, so anyway, at the time, I believe is an enemy, and he just made this whole speech and read my dialogue in some type of microphone and made this whole fucking thing out of it, if I remember.
No
Trying to make
worries.
them out as, oh yeah, that was hysterical. But the thing is, you made a statement that for whatever the situation was that you were mad at me, that my YouTube channel was going to crash and burn, my popularity was going to go away, and I'm not going to be part of the Whovian community anymore, and all this other stuff. And I told you that I was going to celebrate that anniversary every single year and show you how much I've grown every single effing year and shove it in your effing face, basically. That was that. Then you came around and we settled our differences and you on the show. And then, of course, we had this other interesting character called Memery, which was causing mayhem and destruction in the Whovian community. And then something happened where you had a falling out with me with Memery or something. We had a bad. I'm trying to remember the details of it. I believe it
was.
I believe it has to do with, without naming anybody, you were worried about our mutual, our fellow Whovian YouTubers that were growing in the community. I think you were worried about them. And, you know, I basically said, don't give a shit about them because, you know, like, right.
I have what's the word? I have left the scene. I haven't got time to do it anymore. Like the channel and all that, that's all gone. I'm back now as a contributor. I don't want to make enemies.
Right. Well, here's the thing, and I was trying to explain to you that I've been doing this for 13 years. I was one of the people that built the Whovian community, not do it by myself, but all these Johnny-come-latelys came after, and to me, I mean, regardless of me being friends with them or not being friends with them, I was first. I was here first, so no one's gonna have the power to do anything to me or my channel, and everybody was tried and everybody's failed. So I don't give. I mean, as much as people could do what they want to do. Nobody tells me what to do in my channel, and I don't give a rat's ass about them in that aspect where no one's going to control what happens here on the Real Whovians cast and with my group because we went to war before. So I really didn't give a rat's ass about them. That's it.
Yeah, I'm a peaceful fella. I haven't.
Me too, but I don't have anybody designate to me what to say and not to say. And when that happens, there's war. So, people having influence over you to try to get me to stop doing things was not going to work at all. So, just to be fair, and Connor knows me, and Connor knows me. I'm not going to. I don't want to make a big thing. I just want to say that, and Connor is witness to it. Like, people have tried to manipulate me on my cast and sway me to go in a different direction or destroy my cast from within with my own members and failed. And I understand that people got to you to try to fucking silence me, and that wasn't going to work, and you and I fell out because of it. But moving on, that attempt failed from them.
Shall we
we're gonna. Well, okay. So what do you want to tell me?
Oh, I was just going to say we shall bury the hatchet, virtually shake hands, and say, let's move forward in a positive light.
Yes, they fucking failed. I won. Thank you. Anyway, so Connor, what's up, bro? How you doing?
Yeah, not bad.
All right, so we're talking about space babies. We were talking about drama too. Now, I also wanted to talk something else on here that I've made some videos in the past. I made some videos last week. I tried to reiterate over and over and over again because people were creating a narrative on our social medias that Doctor Who is going to get canceled, or that Doctor Who season 3 is not commissioned, or that Doctor Who is not going to happen. And I kept saying, no, there's probably going to be more than likely 100% season 3. Do you want to add anything to that, Connor, about like the relationship?
I think that it will get renewed for a season 3. I'm interested to see where the Disney Plus figures are, because we'll get an idea of the BBC iPlayer ones in about 5 days' time.
Right, which I said a week on my channel. I said
So
we need a good week.
Usually what happens is in the UK, you get the Barb ratings, which is the overnights, the 7 days, and then the 28 days. Because of the release strategy this time around, where they're dropping the episodes early on iPlayer, the overnights no longer matter, because on the overnight Barb ratings, they don't consider iPlayer.
Yeah.
They only consider the TV, which is why this narrative is now being able to be pushed, because Doctor Who only got something like 2.7 million.
Yeah, but what I was trying to explain though to everyone before is there's a different type of contract they have with Doctor Who, with BBC, with Russell T Davies, with Disney Plus. They need content. They need content for their thing. They don't have enough content, and they're not judging it by the ratings like they would any other show that they put on there. Doctor Who is protected. I've said this, to a certain date, certain year. Russell T Davies is not going to write the third season of Doctor Who if it's good. If there's any jeopardy of it getting canceled, then it's not going to. So
I will say with absolute certainty that Doctor Who, in UK terms, is going to make at least 7 or 8 million viewers, which is about average for a TV, a good successful series.
And I put my neck out saying that Doctor Who season 3 is definite. So on Disney Plus.
Yeah, it's from what I heard, it's greenlit. They just haven't announced it, but it's greenlit. It's
I basically know the season 4 probably too, because that Russell T Davies committed to 4 seasons. So,
well, he was talking about doing a properly musical episode without any dialogue in series 4. So he is looking that far ahead.
Yeah. How could you? What do you mean? Like he tried to do with the last episode with Devil's Core? You mean?
No. So when there was an event, it was about a month. No, it wasn't about a month. It was for
the 60th anniversary.
For the 60th, yeah. So he did like a concert, and
like the proms, whatever.
A little bit like that, but it was a separate event. In fact, Doctor Who was going to be at the proms again for the first time in like 10
Congratulations, years. Liam. We're talking about Doctor Who now. They're only 57,000. I just have to read the chat. I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah. So he did a concert, and Murray Gold did anyway, and Sagan Akinola. And RTD basically said that he'd love to do an episode in series 4 where there was no dialogue and it was just all music.
So is that related to the Maestro? Would that be?
No, it was an experimental kind of ambition in the fact
like
that
Buffy.
He thinks that Murray Gold's music could be good enough to make it an episode without dialogue.
Right.
And to be honest, recently there was a bit of an appetite for limited dialogue, because I was reading the other day that, slightly off topic, that Furiosa, the Mad Max film, is very limited on dialogue. I think Anya Taylor-Joy only has something like 70 lines in it, which in a 2 hour and a half film is not that much at all.
Wow.
But he had an ambition of doing an episode where it was just all music and no dialogue. So
season 4, you're saying?
This is that was his plan for. So he was thinking about series 4 before the 60th.
But series 4 would not be with Shooty, right? Because I like the only Shooty was going to be 3.
Well, we don't know. We don't know yet.
it's hard to know because with Bad Wolf, we don't know what way the contracts are. It could be the 3 series. It might not.
Well, I
be,
know
we
he's
don't know.
definitely in
Maybe.
3.
I hope
I
it
don't
is.
know
He'll
if
be
he's in 4.
Yeah. He's in 3. He's
He'll
in
do 3 series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I wonder how long Russell's going to stay for. I hope he doesn't dip after shitty leaves.
Well, Russell's going to stay regardless, just not showrunner. He's just going to be.
I'm convinced that Russell will become a Kevin Feige type figure.
Yeah.
Where he will have a hand in the future of the show, regardless. Because part of the reason why
Moffat might take back over.
No, Moffat did an interview today because the press for Boom is kind of picking up a little bit, and he basically said that he likes the idea now of just coming back and writing the odd episode.
Mm-hmm.
So
it'll be if someone picks it up, I think it'll more than likely be if I had to guess who it would be. I mean, my money would be on somebody like Sally Wainwright. That's who I would think.
Do you know who I think is going to be a pretty? I mean, to be honest, like she's getting quite big in Hollywood, but I think Kate Herron.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
What a lot of people don't realize is that Kate Herron, who is co-writer on Rogue, actually fixed the storyline of what is, in my opinion, the best Marvel series, which is Loki season 1.
Yeah.
She rewrote the whole storyline for that pretty much from Michael Waldron. So she's not just a director. She is quite a competent storyliner and writer as well.
Right.
And she's also behind so there's going to be 3 novelizations of Series 14 coming out from Target, and it is 73 Yards, Rogue, and I think Space Babies is the other one. They're going to be the 3 that are coming out. And she's written the Target novel for Rogue as well as doing the script. So she is a very competent writer, and I think I could see her taking over. But then she's got projects in Hollywood like the Sims movie. She's doing with Margot Robbie, and she's also doing episodes of The Last of Us season 2. So she's kind of got quite a lot on a plate. But I can see her taking over Doctor Who eventually.
I'd love her, or I know it'll never happen, but I'd love Charlie Brooker as well.
Yeah, Charlie Brooker would be a good
I know
fit as well.
He would never do it, but I would love him to do it.
I think a lot of people.
It'll be a female the next time round. I think the showrunner will be a female. No, the showrunner.
Yeah, it'll be Kate Herron or Sally Wainwright is what I think.
Moffat is also writing the Christmas special, by the way.
Mm-hmm. That's good news, though.
He pretty much confirmed it in an interview today, where he said we'll leave that for the future, which is not a denial, and is exactly the sort of stuff that he was saying when he was asked about if he was coming back for Series 14.
Right.
Yeah. Joy to the World. That's the title, apparently.
Yeah, I think that's probably going to be the title because what's her face's character?
Nicola Coughlan.
Yeah, your homegirl. Her character's called Joy. So,
is she a villain or?
She's a companion. She's like
we're finally getting an Irish.
She's a one-off.
Yeah,
she's a one-off. She's going to be like Kylie or Lady.
And she's going to be Irish.
She's going to be Irish. Yes.
Interesting.
Yes. So
he's not going to be with his current companions on the Christmas.
No. So Ruby is going to be off doing something. I imagine she might be in the episode, but she won't be the main companion. And Varida Sethu probably won't be introduced until the first episode of season 2.
Got it. Okay. Well, we don't know if Ruby dies technically in the finale anyway.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah.
And then brought back.
anything could happen. Really, I
Right,
think. At this
and
stage.
Helen Bonham Carter is going to be the mother of Ruby in the
I've
finale.
I've heard that she's going to be the mother.
Yeah, that's the rumor.
But she's definitely going to be a part
Do you know
of.
what else I heard? I don't know how true it is, but I just thought I'll say it anyway.
What did you hear?
Supposedly they've reconstructed the 70s unit set.
I would not be against
I've
that.
heard that. But I hear and there's going to be like a flashback scene to the Third Doctor with Sean Pertwee. That's
How are you
what I
going to
hear.
do that?
But again, it could be rubbish. But
who's going to?
Sean Pertwee.
Oh, he's going to play him.
Yeah,
yeah, because I don't. Was it Gatwa or was it RTD that was talking about there's an actor in the finale that's only in one scene that gives an amazing performance, and a lot of people think it's Sean Pertwee.
Oh, that's awesome! I like that.
And some people are saying, yeah.
There was also a rumor that
supposedly
someone is going to play the second Doctor as well.
Oh, really? Well, they're going to. Is it going to be connected with the villain, or is it?
Yeah. So the Empire of Death involves. Legend of Ruby Sunday involves a secret that has been hidden under unit towers since the Pertwee era.
Okay.
And no one knows what that is. So we'll see.
And you said Sutek was a rumor.
I heard it was.
That's not.
I think Sutek is a rumor.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think it's possible because there's a sandstorm in the finale as well as a snowstorm.
That's what I heard. That's what they have inside the unit. It's Sutek's, casket. Sutek's.
Well, wasn't there a fire
the world
that made it where they can build
the Egyptian?
Wasn't the fire from Sutek? They made the unit HQ over it.
Well, they would have moved they would have moved everything. I actually wonder if
that was a free unit though. But like when that burnt down, he said that they build unit HQ over that in Pyramids of Mars. Didn't he say that? Yes, he built unit. They build unit headquarters over that whole area of Sutek.
If he said that, now I am more convinced that Sutek
They did that. The Fourth Doctor said, because he was telling Sarah, "Oh, this is basically, this will be Unit HQ." Like, but we can't.
Yeah. Did they not say that when they were leaving on the TARDIS?
So it's Sutek that's buried. The secret that's buried. Because
I need to rewatch Pyramids of Mars clearly.
That was my first episode ever. So
well, yeah, I know it's your favorite. Yeah,
I mean that's I'm 99.99999% that it burns down and they build Unit HQ over it, and the Fourth Doctor acknowledges that.
Yes, I think you're probably right. Then I think it might be Sutek. If that,
it is Sutek.
I'm going to rewatch that episode before the finale. But
if you could find the scene,
I think it's
while we're in here, like on YouTube, quickly, like where it says you or Google it, Unit HQ built over Sutek's remains or whatever, and then come back here in a second and confirm. I'm pretty sure that.
Yeah.
Let me do that. Let me do that.
Part of me thinks that. Part of me thinks it is Sutek, but I feel like they're going to set Sutek up as like a Thanos style villain where he'll be the big bad of Shooty's era, but we mightn't see him properly until Shooty's final season. That's what I think. But
how do you spell Sutek?
SUTEKH.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's Sutek.
Yeah. Yes.
Well, yes, a lot of people were trying to like make the connection with Susan Twist and like this triad technology that's coming in the finale, and like a lot of people.
I
like,
think she
yeah.
is the meddling monk.
Yeah,
I think, and to be honest, like the most terrifying kind of possibility for a villain ever, like RTD could genuinely make the stakes so high, is if the gods and Time Lords were in all the bad. So the Rani, the Master, even though he's parked by according to RTD.
Well, okay, wait, stop right there, because they said he's parked, but
oh, he's coming back.
the maestro played his theme, and then the TARDIS went nuts, and it says in subtitles, Harold Saxon theme.
Yeah.
Oh,
In
Master,
subtitles.
the Master's
In
coming.
subtitles.
Yeah, the Master's coming back, or should I say, she's coming back? If you wanna hint.
No,
Is
but
it,
did you say that? Michelle
Missy?
Gomez?
No.
Helen Bonham Carter.
I cannot comment. I have heard it's the Master's coming back and it's a woman, but it's not Michelle Gomez.
I was under the impression that they had dinner with Sacha Dhawan. He's going to come in and then he's going to regenerate.
They might do that.
And that he basically was telling his audience, never say never, meaning he may just come. Now, originally, I thought it was that they were going to have more specials with Tennant, and that they were going to have one more face-off where Sacha Dhawan's master regenerates back into John Sim for a final face-off, because he's like, oh, if you could revisit a face, so can I. That's bullshit. And then they battle with Don and Noble and all that, which leads to his proper regeneration. David Tennant.
Do you want to know something interesting? A couple of days ago, Joe Martin done an interview. She talked. They asked her about Shooty, and she's like, "Oh, yeah, he's a nice guy." And this interviewer was like, "Oh, so you've met him?" And she was very like hesitant to say yes.
Yeah, I saw that.
So there's a lot.
Look, the other thing too is, like I've been saying on here, I don't know if you catched it, but Missy was planned to come back too. But the thing is that it's possible. It's possible that the Master may have been split before the Doctor was split, because whenever Missy died, her consciousness went back into the Nethersphere and created a new body of Missy for her, right? Now, the Master said she can't regenerate because she got the full blast, but the Vortex Manipulator also absorbs the energy as well. So it isn't the full blast, so she can regenerate. But it's quite possible that she died, her consciousness went to the Nethersphere, her body was left behind, her body was able to regenerate with the memories and everything, and boom, there's Sacha Dhawan's master and Missy completely separated from each other, two masters running around at the same time.
Yeah, it's possible. There was a because I follow all the the so-called leaks and whatnot that go around. There was somebody saying that they were going to bring John Sim back for like a Loki style series with him, like a mini series, and that was going to be one.
I don't know about that.
I don't think that's true. No. I don't think that's true, because
I think John Sim is still supposed to come back at some point to battle David Tennant.
The premise of that series was basically going to be Doctor Who, but rather than the Doctor have the Master. Like the Master was going to team up with Unit and all that sort of stuff. And it doesn't really make any sense.
No.
Because for a start, like if Kate Stewart was in that series, she wouldn't trust the Master, regardless of what he said. So, that doesn't. Although John Sim back would be good, because I preferred him in Capaldi's era than I did. But then again, it's RTD writing again, so I'm not sure if we go back to his Saxon ways. I thought Moffat actually John Sim a lot better than RTD did. But another thing that lends itself to the Sutekh theory is that Big Finish were refused rights to use him in a
that's right.
In a box set where they faced him off against Omega. Recently.
Shit, I didn't know that.
So and RTD vetoed another. I can't remember. I actually think off the top of my head, it was Mel vetoed her being used in a box set before Shooty was announced.
Yeah.
Which indicated something.
Yeah,
We
Yeah.
probably
she's
know
in the
the same.
season.
Yeah.
She's in the
So
season.
he doesn't want to muddy the waters with certain characters as to what they're actually getting up to.
I wish he would get a move on and bring back Martha Jones.
See the thing. I don't think they're not really, as much as they like having Big Finish in the background. That's not Doctor Who canon to the main thing.
RTD actually said on I think it was the official podcast, which is a load of shit. That he respects what Big Finish and the novels do, but he only considers the episodes, the TV canon, to be canon.
Yes, which I've said all along, the whole time.
So he's not afraid of contradicting what goes on in Big Finish.
But they've never been afraid to contradict.
I mean,
They've always
his example is that he would never do another iteration of the Fall of Atlantis because they've already done it twice before, and they contradicted each other. I think the first one was in Underwater Menace, and the second one was in The Time Monster, I think. So
when they weren't paying attention to what they were writing each other.
Yeah, they didn't go back and fact check what was said in the Underwater Menace when they were doing the Time Monster with Pertwee. So it caused a whole lot of confusion about what happened with Atlantis in the Doctor Who universe. So RTD said that he would never go back and do a third version of it because he's quite diligent with that sort of stuff, in that he doesn't want to muddy the waters anymore with stuff like that. Like,
so you're never going to see Atlantis in Doctor Who.
You'll probably never see Atlantis in Doctor Who again. I mean, another showrunner could come along and do it, but he certainly wouldn't.
Yeah, no.
But yeah, so he's quite diligent with canon, but he's not that inflexible that he will go back and change something as long as it makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He knows his stuff. I actually not to toot my own horn or anything, but I met him a couple of months ago.
Where did you meet him?
He was at an event in London, and he happened to be speaking on it, and I went to it because he was there, and I met him, and I shook his hand, and I spoke to him for about 20 minutes.
Nice.
Did he keep saying space babies over and over?
He did say dot and bubble back then.
Yes. Did you go to the same event that Tharies went to?
No, different one completely. No.
Right.
He did say dot and bubble because I did hear him talking about it at this event, but he was just told everybody to shush, just don't say nothing.
Yeah, because at the screening of Space Babies, that BBC, no, what was it? BAFTA did the one BAFTA, that you know the one that like Doctor Who filming locations and Tharies went to.
Oh yeah, it was in Cardiff.
Yeah. Apparently, Phil Collinson was very, very, very sure that 73 Yards would be a fan favorite. He wouldn't stop talking about how good that episode is, which is next week's episode. So, and that has been described as quite strange. It's a Welsh folklore tale that's supposed to kind of go more into the strange horror.
That's right up my street.
Is there any because they mentioned Susan? Is there any chance that Susan's going to appear?
I think Susan is going to be part of it.
I think because it's the reason why is because another thing which is what I picked up on is the fact that Carol Ann Ford has been going to all of these screenings.
Oh. Okay.
So
good point.
I think that she's got something to do with it. Yeah.
Would they make her regenerate though? Would they make her regenerate or no?
I heard that, but I really hope they don't.
I mean, she can.
She can, yeah, but it's like, do they want to do that? I don't know. I don't know. If it was me, I would bring her back, but I don't know if I would make her regenerate.
I have seen a crazy rumor that people are speculating, even though her character's called Belinda, that Varada Sethu is a regenerated version of Susan.
Oh, that would be interesting.
So he's going to be traveling with Ruby and Susan.
That would be cool.
But I don't think that I would.
Well, that's it. They might have said Belinda, because RTD he said about they change lines if they're doing a loud line in public. They do like change the words. So
right, okay.
It could be, but
Yeah,
they do that. Well, they said they started doing that after
they did that with Missy.
Remember the 60th when everybody found out Mel?
Yeah.
Do you
remember
when everybody found it when Mel was coming back and Donna was like, "What about Mel?" down an alley, and everybody heard it.
Yeah. I remember that one.
And RTD said that ever since they've used false lines in public. If it's a scene where they're shouting and people will hear the line, they've used false lines.
Wow.
There is actually another bit of news that I have as well that I found out that was pointed out on Twitter, and that is that the child in Devil's Cord is back in season 2.
Wasn't he in the finale?
I don't know, but he's definitely in season 2. So there is an episode set in 1950s America next year, and they. Shooty and Varada Sethu were filming outside an old cinema on like a pier, and on the billboard it spells Harbinger, which is obviously the name of the child.
Mm-hmm.
Harbinger,
yeah. So he's going to probably return for that episode.
So I want to go over.
I also have more news.
Yeah.
Do you know who was actually? This is from Doctor Who production news. Who was spotted at filming? Was it last week or this week? The child baby.
The what?
Yes, yeah, Captain Poppy,
who was in Space Babies. The child, the captain.
Yeah. So the child that played
Captain Poppy was at filming last week.
Is apparently filming for season 2 finale.
A space baby?
Yeah, one of the space babies.
But like she's older now, a little bit, right?
Yeah, she will be. But it's not sure whether or not she's playing a different baby character or whether she's playing Captain Poppy. Because it's possible that they could just reuse the same babies for different baby characters. Although that would be quite, because I'm sure that we'd all recognize what they would look like.
I want to ask how many gods are going to be represented this season and next season, because we heard now there's some confusion. Some people thought that the one who waits is the oldest one. That's not the case, or the boss. That's three different entities.
Yeah. So in terms of this season, I think that the
oldest one is a separate entity from the one who waits.
I think so. If you take Sutek out of it and all that sort of stuff, and all of the finale ones, I think Jinx, Toymaker, in the specials, and I think Indira Varma's Duchess character is also a god, but what makes me think
god or a Time Lord?
There was a throwaway line in one of the commentaries for the episodes. I think it was the giggle where RTD mentions. I think he said 4 in total.
Yeah,
there's 4. I think
there might be 2 in the finale.
Yeah.
So they're all at war with the Doctor because they're screwing with the Toymaker.
Yeah, and what I was saying earlier is I think the best possible way for him to up the stakes and make it really kind of like oh shit, like the Doctor's in trouble, is if he teams the Time Lords up with the gods. So if like a renegade set of Time Lords is going after the Doctor with the help of the gods, like that.
And
The
wouldn't
That's
the
decent.
Time Lords that are alive are the ones that he exiled in Gallifrey before the Master destroyed it, like Rassilon and the High Council?
Possibly not Rassilon, but people like the Rani, the Meddling Monk,
Okay.
the Master. You know,
So that
them
would be
kind of.
bullshit. The Master's not coming back because he would. That was just a lie.
Well, I mean, if the Master is a part of it, then yes. But if not, then I think it's just the Rani. Because I think that Anita Dobson's character, Mrs. Flood, and Susan Triad are Time Lord characters,
Right.
not necessarily related to the gods. I certainly think that Susan Twister is a Time Lord
Yeah.
because she's popping throughout history.
Well, we know.
And
Well,
that
we
character's
basically
related, or was it just a throwaway thing?
Well, I think it's the same overall character. So we've seen her obviously in all the episodes.
She was in the Christmas
Susan
special, right?
Twist is yeah. She wasn't she? No, was she? Yeah, she was.
So she was in
Susan
all those
Twist is,
shooties.
she's been in Wild Blue Yonder, Church on Ruby Road, Space Babies, and Devil's Cord so far.
And she's in Boom this week.
She's in Boom. Yeah, she's in Boom as well.
But I supposedly you know the whole mystery that there's something wrong with the TARDIS.
Yeah.
Apparently she's behind that. Susan Twist or Susan this Triad Technologies. It's something
But
to do with her.
Didn't the Maestro do
because
something to the TARDIS?
if you look at
that separate?
that's a separate thing. But in the finale, the trailer, the shots from the finale, you can see the TARDIS is being scanned inside unit, and there's a shot of Shooty scanning the TARDIS with the Sonic.
Somebody's manipulating the TARDIS.
Yeah,
would
or I
make
think
sense,
I think she might be like extracting the power of the TARDIS, the Artron energy. Yeah, so it's got something to do with the Triad technology. That's who Susan Twist is in the finale. She is Susan Triad.
I actually think music is going to play a large part in all the episodes as well because it plays a part in Boom as well, in a very subtle way. So he basically the premise of Boom, and I can't wait for this episode because it just sounds like peak Moffat. It starts. They land on this war-torn planet. He hears someone screaming, so he runs over to see what's going on, and he steps on this landmine. And then basically, on the landmine, he can't move, but also he can't raise his pulse by a millimeter, or else like half of the planet gets wiped out. So he literally cannot do anything. Like this is the Doctor at his most powerless. And what he does to calm himself down is he sings to himself. So you've got Shooty basically singing again. That's going to be a part of it. So music does play a very subtle part in Boom as well. But it sounds absolutely phenomenal.
Well, I think it'll be interesting to see because I know the TARDIS disappears at some point during the episode. So
probably the same reason that it disappeared in Wild Blue Yonder, I imagine.
But if
probably the HUDs were turned off.
If the TARDIS dematerialized onto the Doctor, the mind would be deactivated.
No, what I think is what will happen is I think he'll stand on the landmine, and then the war it'll start to turn into a bit of a battle in that area, and maybe because the TARDIS is in the middle of a conflict, the HUDs will activate and disappear.
Yeah, I think it's probably going to be the HUDs are going to come back as well after.
I think that's what's going to
happen. The villain is supposedly digital ghosts as well.
Yeah.
So you've got the clerics from Time of the Angels returning.
But isn't this the
and-
Bridgerton episode?
No, that's Rogue.
That's 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
about two or 3 weeks from now. Yeah, so it's Moffat says the war-torn planet with the landmine. But actually, supposedly, Devil's Cord was supposed to be episode 6.
Yeah.
Because the song at the end, there's a twist at the end. Was it that one or was it no? It was there's a twist at the end.
Yeah.
If you look at the lyrics, there's hints to a majority of the episodes, apart from the finale. The like lines of lyrics that give hints as to the plots of some of the episodes.
It's like we've got the waltz, and it's like stuff like that that hinted at like what's happening in Rogue, and yeah, and plus it would make more sense for like the time jump, because like you could realistically believe she's been with him 6 months by episode 6.
Yeah, that
they said it wasn't. Yeah, that would make sense.
Because in Devil's Cord, it's June and July at that time, and it didn't make a lot of sense as to why she said "You never hide." But it's because there's actually there is actually, and I didn't even clock this until I read it on Twitter, that there was actually a time jump that everyone forgot about, because they actually say that there's been a time jump. They're like 6 months on from the Christmas special, which is obviously when Space Babies takes place. So they've rejigged the order of the episodes, but they didn't go back and change the dialogue. So what I actually think happened is, which I think, was it you or Philip, Joe, might have said on the cast the other day, that Devil's Cord would have made a better first episode. And what I think they did was they didn't think that the reception to Space Babies would be that great.
Yes.
So they moved.
I said that they coupled that with it because it sucks.
Yeah. So that they did the double bill premiere because they didn't want Space Babies to fall on its own sword.
Correct.
Pretty much. Which, to be fair to them, it is a good move, because I think it is gonna. A lot of people are talking about Devil's Cord now. So
but it just screws up things timey-wimey, because
in terms of dialogue, like the whole thing about Ruby.
Well, you could just take from it and say there's a whole bunch of adventures they went on off air, and that's how she knows.
Yeah. But yeah, that when people are pointing out little bits of dialogue like that, it's because like there has been a time jump.
Have you heard about supposedly the rumored song that was cut from Space Babies as well?
No, I didn't.
No.
So in Space Babies, Shooty says the line "push the button" a lot.
Oh yes. Is it the Girls Aloud?
Sugar Babes, push the button.
Sugar Babe, yeah.
Supposedly that song was supposed to be in it, and it was cut.
Thank God for that.
Yeah, because there's a shot in just as they take off the TARDIS for the first time where he's walking towards the jukebox, and then it's like edited weirdly where he points to Sonic and the TARDIS off. Something was clearly in the.
Yeah. I see what you mean, actually.
And people think that.
Well, one of my favorite bits actually of the 2 episodes so far is that actually, and I keep watching it because it's just amazing editing, is how seamless the transition from Jinx playing the start of the theme on the piano to the main theme song to then finishing it on the jukebox is. Like,
Yeah,
They should do stuff like that more with the theme tune because that was really good.
It fits so well.
I was saying to Joe about the Californian Soul bit where they went to change their outfits. Fuck, I love that.
Yeah.
Love that.
I loved
Yeah,
it. I thought it
that
was
was-
so good that when
Yeah,
they
yeah,
were dancing,
yeah.
like the way the flow, and they were just, that was great.
I mean, it's like when in RTD1 when he used Toxic in End of the World, everyone still talks about that scene because it's so memorable when Eccleston is dancing in a really kind of strange way. Like his RTD's use of music is quite
Yeah, and Tainted
memorable.
Love as well.
Tainted Love as well was one that he used. It's and in Sound of Drums as well.
Yeah.
Where he used Here Come the Drums.
Love and Monsters, Mr. Blue Sky.
Yeah, Mr. Blue Sky as well in
Yeah.
Love Monsters. So music has always been a big part of RTD's Doctor Who.
Right.
He's just kind of dialing it up to 11 with this. Like I genuinely think that music is going to play a huge part in every episode. Like it's
Probably.
obviously going to play. It's going to play a part in Rogue because in Rogue they do the waltz, so there's going to be music
Right.
there for them to dance to. I think it's just going to be a very musical season, to be honest.
What do you think of this Jonathan Groff character? Do you believe the rumors?
What, that he's a Captain Jack character?
Yeah.
Oh, they're going to say he's Captain Jack?
Or that he is Captain Jack?
I don't think he's going to be Captain Jack, but I think that he will serve the same purpose that Captain Jack did in the original RTD run.
I mean, if he was Captain Jack, how would they explain his different countenance?
They say this is set during the period. Remember when Jack lost 2 years of his memory?
Yes.
Apart, that's the theory that it's set.
That's what he looks like.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, John Barrowman will never return, so if they want to bring Jack back,
I don't know.
They're going to have to.
Maybe. I'm hoping.
But he wouldn't take the name. He wouldn't be called Captain Jack because he took the name when he came to Earth, right? Well, no, he took the name. Wait a minute.
Well, Jonathan Groff's character is called Rogue, so the episode is named after his character.
Yeah.
Okay.
It'll be interesting. Because it's like there's a shot in the trailer where Shooty does like the salute.
Yeah.
Like the way Captain Jack would have done it. And it just was like...
He's definitely a time agent. It's just whether or not he's Captain Jack.
I mean, to be
honest, RTD could turn around and say that salute is normalized within the time agent clan, like they could all do that.
Yeah.
So it might not just be exclusive to Jack.
I would like it was Captain Jack. I mean,
I get the feeling there could be a throwaway line where like he knows Captain Jack or something, or it'll be like, oh, I know another time agent or something like that.
Yeah, that's possible. I think that they might reference him. Even as a similar ship to Captain Jack, because in the trailer, when Shooty is stood there and then you can see Tennant's holographic face,
right?
Like in the background, that is Jonathan Groff's ship, and it looks quite similar to the ship that Jack had in Empty Child, Dr. Dances.
But is he going to be a recurring character?
I think so. I think he might come back for an episode or two.
Okay.
The only problem is that Jonathan Groff is far more in demand than John Barrowman ever was.
Right.
So it might be difficult to.
And the fact is, they couldn't get him for season 2 because of the SAG BAFTA strike that was going on as well.
Yeah. Yeah. And also, I actually now I'm edging more towards your theory, Joe, rather than Philip's, in that I think that Jinx Monsoon is going to return because Jinx Monsoon, her love for Doctor Who, like if you go on social media now and see her talking about Doctor Who, she absolutely loves the show.
Oh, yeah.
So if if they asked her to come back, she'd say yes in a heartbeat.
100
Well,
goddamn percent.
all they have to do is get the Harbinger guy to get someone to play the Devil's Chord, and she'll appear again.
Yeah.
Well,
Literally.
him being there basically signifies her return because that's her son.
Yeah.
And he kind of was manipulating the teacher to play the Devil's Chord. So, you know. But the weirdest thing would be is I would see her teaming up with the Doctor for a bigger threat. I would think. Wow.
The interesting thing is that I wonder how many of the gods are going to be linked in a kind of relative way to the toy maker. So obviously Jinx, the Maestro, was his daughter. Like,
well, son, but like
yeah,
whatever. But and she hates her father, so that's not, he mistreated her.
Yeah,
that's what so she wouldn't be teaming up with the toy maker at all. Really?
No,
but
she'd probably more likely go with the Doctor.
It would just, when you think about it logistically, it even sounds good that Sutek is the father of the toy maker.
I don't know about that.
I think that Sutek is outside of it because the toy maker is scared of.
Yeah, no, he's not
the one who waits.
Which no way
is what
Sutek
Sutek
related
is.
to the toy maker. He said that. He said he was afraid of that person. So it's not.
Yeah. So I think Sutek is going to be kind of outside of that.
Yeah.
Hierarchy.
I definitely think it's either Sutek or Omega. I think that's the big bad behind everything. It's one of them two.
It's definitely going to be someone very, very, very powerful, and I do think it's going to be a returning.
Or Black Guardian could be.
Black Guardian. Yeah, Black Guardian would be a good shout as well. Actually, I would love Black Guardian because it's unexpected, and I think that they can do more with the Black Guardian character than they can with Sutek and.
I heard a good theory.
So is Helen Bottom Carter the Black Guardian?
No, apparently she's Ruby's birth mother, but I don't know.
Yeah, but she could still be a Black Guardian.
Well,
changing gender.
I heard about Mrs. Flood that Mrs. Flood was the White Guardian. The White Guardian actually like keeping an eye on the Doctor.
Oh. I mean, again, I would,
but
having Susan Triad
keep an eye on the Doctor and sort of like.
Having Susan Triad as, Susan Twist's character as, the Black Guardian, and having Anita Dobson and Mrs. Flood as the White Guardian would be a nice parallel, because they're both older women, and they're both. You get the same, even though that we know that Susan Twist's character is probably going to be bad. Looking at her initially, for example, as the tea lady in Devil's Chord and on the screen in Space Babies, and also going back to the Christmas special and Wild Blue Yonder, where she was playing Mrs. Mary Drew, and the person in the pub where Ruby and the band was playing the music. You don't think that she's a bad character, like she's evil. So having them kind of both hidden in plain sight as these elderly ladies, that would be a nice kind of playoff, I think, rather than kind of having.
I mean, they would have dialogue together when you would see that they are Black and White Guardians. So.
Yeah,
I
could see that playing out.
But is this going to be the whole length of Shooty, like every single season's to do with the gods?
You'll get the Daleks and stuff eventually, but I think for the majority of the time he might just be dealing with gods as the main character, as the main villains.
Okay.
But
I guess mine had to go. Very good. I know it's late for you guys. I do apologize, but
I'm gonna head to bed in a minute.
So, all right. I thank Marty and I thank you for coming in here.
No worries.
On such short notice, Marty's here. So, Marty,
Hello.
All right. Hey, so we're gonna wrap it because it's getting late for Connor and it's getting late for you, and
Yeah.
he's got work, and you got stuff too. So I want to thank you guys for coming in. It was great to see you again, Marty.
Yes. Thank you very much for having me.
And Connor, and hopefully we could review Boom on Friday or Saturday if you guys are willing.
Yeah, I'll be. If you are you going to do the podcast the same as this week, right straight after the
right after? Yeah, there's only one now, so yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
Yep.
I'll be on there.
All right. Thank you guys. Have a great day, great night. Take care. Bye for now.
Bye.